Let's get to the details of those stories now. An Accra High Court has set Tuesdays and Thursdays each week to hear the case involving the former Director General of the National Communication Authority, NCA, William Matthew Tevi, and 4 others who have been charged with causing financial loss to the state. This was after the Attorney General, Gloria Ekufu, prayed the court to expeditiously hear the case. Lawyers for the 5 accused raised some concerns about unavailability of their client on some of the days, but Justice Eric Chebafo settled on the 2 days as a compromise for both parties. JoyNews' Joseph Akable has the rest of the story.
The 7-member state legal team is led by Attorney General Gloria Ekufu and Director of Public Prosecution Yvonne Atakra Obuobisa. The AG read the charges against 2 of the accused persons, William Matthew Tevi, a former Director General of the NCA, and Nana Owusu-Ensah, a board member. They both pleaded not guilty and were granted bail to the tune of $1 million with 3 sureties. These were the same conditions that were granted the 3 others who were put before the court in December 2017. So the legal banter between lawyers on both sides started after the Attorney General had informed the court that she would have preferred, if it were possible, for court hearings to be held on daily basis from Monday to Friday. 2 objections were raised. The first was to the effect that one of the accused persons, Mr. William Tevi, the former CEO of the National Communications Authority, they said that he was receiving treatment that required him to attend to the hospital 3 times a week, and so that made it impossible for him to attend to the court on all the 5 days. The other concern was that they had requested that the Attorney General furnishes them with all relevant questions that she intends to rely on in the prosecution of the case. She agreed with the second request, but with regards to the first request, she asked that the court decides appropriately on what will be done. Justice Eric Chebafo directed that Tuesdays and Thursdays will be the fixed dates for hearing of the matter, starting from 16th of January 2018. The Attorney General engaging the press after the close of proceedings, replying her critics who have raised concerns about the fact that she could have waited for the Office of the Special Prosecutor to be formally set up before starting with prosecution of this matter.
I thought the accusation has been that we are not prosecuting because we are waiting for the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So I can never get it right. I come to court, the problem is that why don't you wait for the Special Prosecutor? And now that I am in court, you are asking me why I shouldn't wait for the Special Prosecutor. You are not coming to court, they say, why are you not coming to court? You are waiting for the Special Prosecutor. I think that I should take this opportunity to explain. The cases we run in our office is not started merely because a docket has been submitted to the office. I think the expression that the investigators always use is that we have submitted the docket to the Office of the Attorney General for advice. This is because investigations involve largely the gathering of evidence. For purposes of evaluation for prosecution, the Attorney General will have to study a docket and determine whether what is on the docket will warrant a prosecution. That at least will require an accused person to be called upon to answer. That is what it's been about. It has never been the case that cases are not coming to court because we are waiting for the Office of the Special Prosecutor. That is a perception which is wrong and which I want to disabuse. And for that reason, therefore, we have not waited for the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to bring this matter to court.
Come 16th January 2018, the state will be expected to present its first witness to the court, and the second hearing will take place the Thursday of that very week as well. Reporting for JoyNews from the High Court, my name is Joseph Akable.
And you know that we couldn't get access, always the camera doesn't get access to the courtroom, but I have the man who has been in the courtroom, observed everything that went on, brought that report. He's going to give us a bit of a background to this particular matter and what the cameras didn't give you. Joseph, it's good to have you.
Always good to be
here. This is the first time you're appearing on the show this year.
That is it.
Okay, so promises that the year will be a good one, obviously.
Certainly.
Now, let's talk about this case. Give us a bit of a background into it.
So you recall sometime in 2015, there was news that a national security were bringing down some equipment to monitor conversations between individuals, as it were, to counter any moves by terrorist groups that were threatening the sub-region. As we have been told that these 5 individuals who have been put before the court, they engaged an Israeli company to bring the equipment in. They didn't buy the equipment directly from the company. They were contracting a third company that was based here in Ghana, and that company was facilitating the process. So that company was taking a charge of $2 million, with $6 million going over to the Israeli company that was supplying the equipment. Wow. Now we are being told that an amount of, because the National Security couldn't finance it, they asked that the National Communications Authority, that was the supervising agency, because it had to do with communication issues, they should provide the funds. So they made available $4 million, which was withdrawn from the account. We are being told that that $4 million was paid to an individual, George Opon, also before the court. Okay. He acted as an agent for that company based in Ghana that was helping them with the facilitation of the entire process itself. So he took the $4 million, he paid $1 million to the Israeli company, and the remaining 3, we are told, according to the Attorney General and the facts presented to the court, the $3 million was split among all 5 persons who are currently standing trial before the court.
What was their defense then in court?
So we are yet to get into that aspect of the case, where we'll hear their version of the story, their side of the story, as to what actually transpired, and whether they got some of the money, or they didn't get the money, or the money is still lodged in their account or not. But the narration, according to the AG, is that after they split that money, the equipment could not be traced. So when the new administration came in, we have been told that they were contacted by the Israeli company that you owe us $5 million, we supply equipment to you.
Even though we don't know the whereabouts of the equipment.
Exactly. So the AG said they started the investigation. They had to first identify the equipment, where it was lodged. They said they found the place where the equipment was being kept. But interestingly, she says when they arrived at that private facility, when they identified the equipment, they were being told by those who were manning the facility that some few hours before they had arrived, the former National Security Advisor, Alhaji Kamara, had directed that those equipment be brought to the place just few hours before they arrived to inspect the equipment. Okay,
so the equipment is available at the moment?
Yes, as we have been told.
But at the time where they were gathering evidence, it was
not available. Okay. Then once they identified it, they again realized that some of its components were not available, including the software that ensures that it operates. So he says, as it stands, it's not even a functional equipment that is in place.
Right.
So they started to investigate the matter, and they realized that this is how come the money was withdrawn. The money was not paid to the contractor that was supposed to be paid. It was shared among these individuals, for which reason the state has decided to bring them over to court, charging them with causing financial loss to the state.
Okay, and this is the moment for us, or all of us Ghanaians, to be able to trace where the money went and why the machine, or why whatever was purchased, is not functional. But then they don't want to be, or they're saying that they wouldn't be able to frequent the court premises. Why?
The concern, in fact, the court had indicated that they were willing to offer all 5 days to them. I mean, for those who have frequented the court of Justice Eric Cheba, he tries to dispense cases that come before him in a timely manner.
Okay.
So he had indicated that he's willing to offer 5 days to them. The AG had agreed to that, but then one of the lawyers raised the concern that Mr. William Tevi, the former Director General of the NCA, he said he attends to the hospital 3 times in a week, so that makes it difficult. They can't take up the 5 days. The AG has suggested that he can come in the afternoon on the days that he goes over to the hospital, but the lawyer has still insisted that he still can't make it. If he goes to the hospital, he has the entire day off and can't come to court.
Okay.
Then the other concern was that they had asked that since the AG is pushing for a hasty trial, they should make available all documents they want to rely on. So at that point, the AG came in and said that I'm willing to give all those documents to you. Then the lawyer came back on his feet and said that if you're going to give all those documents to me, then I want the court to adjourn for 1 month.
So I can study the documents
and reply to it. So at that point, the AG felt as though they were all efforts targeted at slowing the pace of the trial.
Process,
so she told the judge that, okay, I said I'll give it to them. I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay. What I'll do is, if you come on daily basis, if I'm bringing one witness and you want all the documents relating to the witness, I can provide all that to you, so that you don't say that you need more time to study the entire document. So the judge, after listening, settled for the compromise of Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that was okay with both parties.
Both parties. Okay. Now, what's important is that we need to know, we need to get to the bottom of where the rest of the money is and why the equipment isn't functioning. Joseph, before I let you go, tell us a bit about their demeanor in court. 5 of them.
For the 2 of them, they were not present the first time. So all 5 were called. I didn't see them smile. They would look a bit moody, calm. They moved over and sat down, because the process is that you have to be called, you have to come and sit in front. There's a separate area for them. What happened was that they kept a very long time in leaving the court premises. I mean, for obvious reasons. Lots of
paparazzi. They want to avoid the paparazzi.
Exactly. Exactly,
Right.
but in terms of SMILE, we didn't see that at all. The other issue too is that you recall former President Mahama talked about the need for party members, that's members of the opposition NDC, to
solidarize
them.
with them.
In
right.
terms of known members of the NDC, we didn't see any make it to the courtroom.
Okay, Joseph, thank you very much for that update. Joseph Akable has been in court, has been following on this matter, and is bringing us all of that update. We'll see you another time when there's some more court cases that need broken